Good morning, everyone. This is Bill Keegan, Town Manager in Foxboro, with your latest COVID-19 update. I apologize, but do not have the latest updated numbers for you this morning. I will continue to try and locate that information for you and see if I can try and bring it up. But I do have the report this morning, so I'll read that into the record this morning and see how that goes. The Reopening Advisory Board released new sector-specific protocols this week that describes policies, procedure, and best practices that particular industries left follow to decrease the risk of COVID-19 transmissions. Businesses self-certify that they are complying with the rules of developing COVID-19 control plans and displaying a signed and attestation poster in a place on premises visible to employees and visitors. In addition to new protocols for manufacturing, the Baker-Polito administration has also released guidelines for other industries opening in Phase 1, including construction, laboratories, hair salons, and barbershop, car washes, and pet grooming and office spaces. Information about purchasing hygienic and proactive supplies for the reopening of workplaces can be found at mass.gov/info details. Reopening purchasing hygienic or protective supplies for the workplace. These resources are provided to help inform employers and employees about supplies needed to return to the workplace and connect businesses with manufacturers and distributors in order to operate in reopening Phase 1 and all future phases. Certain supplies are required. Wednesday, the USDA approves new states and retailers to accept SNAP benefits online. The U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, announced that households in 13 new states, including Massachusetts, will soon be able to purchase food online within Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program SNAP benefits. There is also an expansion of independent-owned and operated retail stores in the program. Soon, more SNAP-authorized retailers under multiple store banners will be accepting SNAP benefits online. And then locally, I wanted to just let you know that we do have. I received information this morning from the Director of Public Works, Chris Gallagher, who indicated to me that that we are now heading into the warmer part of the season, and the state DEP has imposed a water restriction ban on all communities throughout the Commonwealth, and actually limiting water restriction rather on for 2 days a week. And that has nothing to do with the amount of supply that we have, but it's limits the amount of water that we can take out of the ground. So that's a two-part issue. So we have plenty of supply, but the problem is that the state has restricted the amount of water we can take out of the ground, so it obviously maintains the amount of water a safe level throughout the Commonwealth. Town of Foxboro has a year-round water restriction for 2 days per week. DEP requires a water restriction as part of the withdrawal permits. Residents need to abide by this restriction. You can find the details on the Water Department website. However, earlier this week, we had a water main break that withdrew over 1 million gallons of water from the Hill Street water tank. The system has not recovered fully from the loss, and the Water Department is concerned with the long-term weekend and the first 80-degree day. The system will be strained based upon that impact. We continue to work towards the completion of the new treatment plant and wells on Pumping Station Road. These wells and plants these wells in the plant are scheduled to be producing water by the end of July. Our ability to pull water from the ground will double with the completion of this plant. For the benefit of all residents in town, please be conservative with your water use this weekend and throughout the spring. So it's expected to hit into the 80s this weekend. So I know that people will be trying to get out and trying to water as much as possible. So we do ask that you try and abide by the restrictions that we do have in place, and be sensitized to the fact that we are working towards resolving that water situation. The one we have right now is truly temporary in nature, but we are going to have more capacity to pull forward into sometime in July when the new plant comes online. And so we do have plenty of supply. That's not the issue. The issue is how much can we actually take out of the ground as is limited by the state. So let me just try one more time to see if I can bring up, let me see. Let me see here. Let me see here. I might be able to bring this up for you. Unfortunately, the report was did not show up this morning, so I will see if I can pull it up for you. And unfortunately, it does not look like I have it right at my fingertips. So I apologize for not having that information for you this morning. I didn't realize that I did not have it up on my screen this morning. So until just a few minutes ago, I was on the middle of a phone call this morning. That's the reason why I was late with several legislators in the area trying to get the guidance and direction on town meeting and how we can and the state budget. It does not look like the state budget will be in place before we conduct town meeting here in Foxboro. Our goal is to hold town meeting on June 15th. Even if we don't have the state budget in line, we've taken our own estimate and we're using that estimate as a basis. There's been several indications to me that number might be it actually seems like a pretty good number to use. So we're going to go with that number and just if we need to make adjustments later on, once the budget is in place, we can make those adjustments in the fall. We're going to have to do that anyways because we know that there's going to be several things that will come out in the state budget overall that we'll have to make adjustments with. So we anticipate that being the case where most communities, in fact all communities in Massachusetts are going to have to make that, with the exception of those that are working in a city form of government that can take actions up as soon as information comes out from the state. But this is where anybody who's governed by a town meeting form of government will have to have another town meeting in the fall to correct any changes that have come out from the state following their actions on a town meeting in their local communities. So once we have that information, we will certainly get that out to everyone. We're now just waiting for formal guidance on how to conduct town meetings. Right now, the state has passed a provision that the Senate rather has passed a provision that will provide some level of guidance. We're still awaiting guidance from the House, and then we need the governor to sign the bill before we can actually move forward. Open town meeting, of course, is kind of a tricky situation because virtually anyone can show up at the meeting, but we're looking to see if there's going to be a limitation on the if we can work with a reduced quorum amount, or if we can try and limit the amount of people that can come based upon the capacity of the room, making sure we maintain safe distancing guidelines for everyone. So that is the goal for everyone, and we're going to try and do that. I'll be back to you. For now, I have to step off for another meeting at 10:30, but it's been a busy morning, obviously. So I will try and get back to you with some updates on the numbers for Foxboro. I do not anticipate any significant changes over what we had yesterday, but if anything does change, of course, I will certainly make note of that. But I'll try and get back to you later this morning with some further numbers on where we stand in Foxboro with the COVID-19 updates and impacts. Until then, I'll talk to you probably later this morning with some further information, and hope that you all stay well in the meantime. Thanks very much. Good morning, everyone. This is Bill Keegan again. Back to you again. I apologize for the confusion this morning. I just want to give you the quick update on the numbers. For Foxboro, since March 15th, we've had 101 cases. We've had 75 people recover. Currently, only have 14 cases that are active in Foxboro, which is great news, and 10 people have been lost in the follow-up phase. 691 people have tested negative, nearly 700 people. That's great news also. And 4 people remain hospitalized, obviously very concerned about those folks, and 1 person has passed. So again, not a significant change, though the numbers of active cases continue to go down. Total of 88,970 cases in Massachusetts that have had COVID-19. 489,952, almost 490,000 people have been tested at this time. In terms of Norfolk County, just briefly, the Norfolk County has 7,607 cases, and 749 people have passed as a result of COVID-19 complications. So those are the numbers this morning. I apologize for the confusion this morning. My screen played a little trick on me this morning, so sorry to provide you with that confusing update. But those are the latest numbers that I have from Foxboro. I'll be right back with you again tomorrow morning at this time at around 10 o'clock to give you another update, and we'll continue to give you the latest information that we have. Again, be careful. Again, be careful about the watering this weekend. We want to try and limit the use of that, given the fact that we had a water break earlier this week, and it did impact one of our local tanks. So we should be okay. There's no issue about that, but just we want to make sure that we don't overuse water, given the fact it's going to be a little bit dry on the warm side this weekend. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow morning, and hopefully you stay healthy and get out and enjoy the good weather while we can. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a nice weekend overall. And so stay out there, stay healthy, stay well, and I'll see you next time.